national irrigation, what is this thing called? Kenya Power. I just see, if today I was the minister of, or the CEO of that organization, I will not go appear before the Senate. You can send me as many summons as you want, because we have to adhere to the Constitution. The Constitution has demarcated the boundaries. Counties, Senate is supposed to deal matters concerning counties. And now we have a Supreme Court ruling. I don't know what they're going to do. Whether the Senate has the powers to annul the judgment of the Supreme Court, we will wait to see. Because it looks like the Senate now has powers to do anything. They can even annul a judgment, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I know how our colleagues are feeling. I know that they are feeling that they are supposed to do everything the National Assembly is doing. But unfortunately, the Constitution is what guides us as a nation. If the Constitution does not allow you to do that, and why are they shying away from dealing with issues of counties, Mr. Speaker? Because we have 47 counties, and the main benefit the Kenyans got from the new Constitution, Mr. Speaker, is devolution. If I was a senator today, I will be preoccupied a lot with how to fortify and make revolution work, Mr. Speaker. Because that is where the rubber meets the road. That is where Kenyans are supposed to be served, Mr. Speaker. But now it looks like it is more lucrative to deal with the national issues. You could see last year what was happening. Every small national issue that comes up that needs to be dealt with by the National Assembly was taken up by the Senate. Every national issue. And now making the National Assembly look like they don't know what they are doing. We have been waiting for the Supreme Court ruling. That's why we were quiet. Yeah, we were saying, let the Supreme Court rule. When the Supreme Court does their ruling, then we will know where our beacons are, how far we can go. Mr. Speaker, we must have clarity in this country, Mr. Speaker, because we cannot, very soon, even county assemblies will demand the work of the National Assembly or the work of the Senate. So, if the senators want to do what they are supposed to do, then they should confine themselves to the work they have been given. Mr. Speaker, look at what they have done to this. Chepkonga and company, Mr. Speaker, went ahead to bring a bicameral bill, Mr. Speaker, so that it can help smooth running of the business of Parliament. What have I done? Because they thought they are going to get favorable judgments of the Supreme Court, they amended the whole thing in a manner that it becomes useless, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, me, I'm very happy today. And I am very happy because in my lifetime, before I leave this house, Mr. Speaker, we now know what is the function of the National Assembly and what is the function of the Senate, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is what the Supreme Court said. I want to read it verbatim. The exclusion of the Senate from participating in the enactment of money bills is not an anomaly, but deliberate as it aligns with established legislative practices in other asymmetrical bicameral systems. That's the Supreme Court talking, it's not me. Recognizing the critical role of financial legislation in ensuring the smooth functioning of the state and the effective delivery of public services, many constitutions prescribe a specific legislative procedure for money bills. These provisions are designed to avoid conflicts between the chambers of the bicameral parliament and to prevent prolonged deadlocks over financial matters that could hinder governance and economic stability, Mr. Speaker. Because what the Senate was trying to do was to hinder economic stability in this country. When you usurp powers, because according to me, the last 10 years, what was happening, what the Senate was trying to do was what I described as power grab. They wanted to grab the powers of the National Assembly. The functions, the powers of the past is with the National Assembly. If I was even to go further, I would have recommended even the division of revenue bill doesn't need to go to the Senate. It's a money bill, by all intent and purposes, Mr. Speaker. And now the National Assembly has been given by the Senate powers that it can originate all bills, money bills, bills concerning counties. But our brothers in the Senate cannot originate money bills anymore from today. They can only originate bills that concern counties, But us, we can originate both bills that concern counties and money bills, Mr. Speaker. Bills on taxation, bills on appropriation, bills on budgetary. All that now belongs to the National Assembly. And we are going to do our duty professionally, diligently, for the good of the country. Mr. Speaker, it went to the extent where they almost described us as a lower house, when the Constitution has prescribed completely the functions that we have, and it makes this house to be the upper house. Because when you don't have the power of the past, how can you call yourself the upper house? In my view, even to reduce expenditure, to reduce the wage bill of the country, the Senate should be able to meet quarterly. The Senate sitting should be once for 3 months to look at county issues, and 4 sittings in a year is enough for the Senate, Mr. Speaker. In my view, if my view was considered. But because you can end up sitting every week 3 times, and there is no business to conduct. Now it forces you to infringe on other people's business, on other people's functions, constitutional functions. Why can't you just sit for once 3 months, look at county issues, look at them, how they are doing, audit their books, and then go home and rest? Then after another 3 months, 4 times a year is good enough for the Senate to sit, Mr. Speaker. And I'm not doing this in a derogatory manner, Mr. Speaker. I really mean it, because that is how we are going to reduce even the wage bill of this country. Mr. Speaker. So in my view, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I want to say this. I never thought a day will arrive in this country, because look, they took 24, not 1, not 2, not 3. They took 24 bills that were passed by this House to court. 24 bills. And the court could only agree with them on 2 bills only. All the rest was said, the court declared that they were constitutional. How much money do you think we have spent in litigation? Both of us, both the Senate and the National Assembly. How much money? A lot of money. Whose money is that? Taxpayers' money. So, Mr. Speaker, there was no need of taking those bills to court. There should have been an amicable way to solve that problem. The 2 houses could sit. Even now they are saying the concurrence that is required on bills by the 2 speakers only should happen when somebody raises it. If nobody raises it, there is no need for concurrence. The bills can go on. So, Mr. Speaker, I know we have differences of age set. The people in the Senate might be much older than us in terms of age. But that is not an African customary sitting or organization, Mr. Speaker. This is a constitutional organ that deals and does its functions in accordance with the Constitution. So if you are old, don't bring here issues of African that you have to respect the aged. You have to respect people older than you. No. Some of them now are young, and they
Give him an additional 2 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I know some of our colleagues in the Senate now are young and vibrant. I beseech them and I advise them, in the coming election, please go to a constituency. That is where work is. Hii nyumba ya wasee, wachia wasee.
Order, Honorable Minority Leader. You cannot mix the 2 languages in one contribution.
Mr. Speaker,
you can either go straight Swahili or go English. You started with English, finish with English.
Mr. Speaker, I'm using the nyumba of wazee in quotes, Mr. Speaker. In quotes, Mr. Speaker, because I don't know how to describe nyumba ya wazee in English. They are called what? The House of Old Men. Or the House of Lords, Mr. Speaker. Or House of Lords. Mr. Speaker, the House of Lords. I know there is not much work there. The young people who are my age mates, our contemporaries, in the next election, either try to be a governor or a member of the National Assembly, so that you don't feel bad, or you don't feel misused, or you don't feel that your energy is not being utilized at your prime age, Mr. Speaker. Come to the National Assembly, where you will deal with budgetary, taxation, appropriation, and all kinds of matters that concern constituencies and the people of Kenya. And issues of national concern, not issues that concern counties only. And you know issues that can concern counties. Burial permits, how to bury, the pets when they die, sewage issues, water issues. Those are the issues that are of concern, Mr. Speaker, to the counties. And let us stick to our lives, Mr. Speaker. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I oppose this motion. Thank you very much.
Honorable David Cheng.
I think this is the longest I've had to wait to speak. Mr. Speaker, I want to agree with the Honorable Junet, who is my friend, on all he has said. Mr. Speaker, the Senate amendments to the Houses of Parliament bill are all, in my opinion, in bad faith, and they must all be rejected. Mr. Speaker, I've said here, and I want to repeat, that in 236 years, the Senate in the US has never sued the House of Representatives, and vice versa. 236 years. And wherever even a citizen has gone to court to get these two to fight, the courts have said no, not our province, not our jurisdiction. So, Mr. Speaker, I believe that the first sin in this case was by the High Court in 2013 to get into this arena of adjudicating what will come here and what will go to the Senate. It was wrong. And I'm happy that the Supreme Court now has set the record straight. Good practice, neatness, cordiality requires that the two houses should never have to sue each other. They should never have to take each other to court. Because these are adults. This is the highest body of lawmaking in the country. Not just highest body. It's, in my opinion, the most powerful arm of government. Because they can impeach a president. We just impeached a deputy. They cannot be showing bad manners or going to court against each other, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I agree with the Supreme Court on what they have just decided on. Mr. Speaker, I believe also that there was a misunderstanding, in my opinion, when we started implementing devolution. The level where some people gave themselves the job of, in quotes, protecting devolution. Some people gave themselves a job of, in quotes, protecting counties. Mr. Speaker, if you look at how much money counties spend on legal fees, how much money the Council of Governors spend on legal fees, how much this Parliament has spent on legal fees, as in too much smoke, no heat, causing confusion, putting us in a situation where people think that we are fighting, and there's nothing to fight about, Mr. Speaker. So, as we go forward, Mr. Speaker, I want to request the Senate that today, as we speak, there's no county in this country 13 years later that has running water in every home. There's no county where there's running water in every home. There's no county in this country today where you'll go to a dispensary and you find that there's uniform service in every dispensary. There's none. There's no country today in this country where agriculture is run well. On the contrary, Mr. Speaker, we have allowed the county government to replicate the structure of national government, where there are people they call ministers, there are those they call PSS, there are those they call directors, and then they come here crying that they have no money to spend. Why would a county government have structures like the one in national government? There is so much the Senate could make laws on. So much. The Speaker, when I hear Senate talk about our military, talk about our foreign relations, and there's so much that is not working in the counties. What the Honorable Senator had just said. You already have so much power, you're not using. And you want to amass more. Mr. Speaker, it is not their province, and I'm happy with what has just been said this afternoon, Mr. Speaker. Devolution was meant to help people make decisions at the grassroots. I'm certain that out of the 47 governors, 3/4 of them live in Nairobi. You will meet them in Nairobi almost every week. Every week you meet them in Nairobi. Either someone by the Senate or just here, mangamang around Nairobi. Mr. Speaker, in fact, I believe that this assembly must descend into that arena. We cannot close our eyes anymore, Mr. Speaker, and leave it to the Senate. It's this assembly that must now discipline how counties work. In fact, I want to request my minority leader and majority leader that those things that the Senate has been doing to us taking powers of the National Assembly, you must start doing going forward. Go and do work of the counties. Make sure that the Senate is doing its work, and if they're not doing their job, we'll start summoning governors. Let the governors come to our committee, JLAC, answer questions on legal affairs. If they cannot answer questions on how they use their monies, let PSC summon them. Because the Senate has refused to do its work. So, Mr. Speaker, the Supreme Court has done something that's very commendable. And we hope that this ends this cat and mouse drama. We hope that this ends these cat fights. Because, Mr. Speaker, as you may be aware, last month, we've just finished the process of unbundling the functions. How I wish the Senate was pushing today for costing of those functions and ensuring that money is going down following those functions. Mr. Speaker, we have a commission of 7 commissioners called CRA, whose only job is to work on a formula of distributing money between national government and governments. It's only job, and they are full-time commissioners. And the Senate is just watching. Mr. Speaker, the work of entrenching devolution in this country requires forethought, requires deep understanding of the work that is needed, requires sitting back and saying, I'm now a senator. What can I do to ensure that the county governments work well? Oh no. When teachers are being employed, senators want to get involved. When they're doing housing policy, they want to get involved. When they're sending police to Haiti, they want to get involved. There is so much to be done in the counties. Sports is almost dead. Our industries will be mounted, and this country will grow on the back of industrial development in the counties. Mr. Speaker, I want to request the Senate and my friend senators. You will do well in having a model law on health for the counties to follow. You will do well in having a model law on agriculture for the counties to follow. You will do well in having a proper sports law for the counties to emulate so that they are able to develop sports and work well with sports. You will do well in having a proper law to guide ECD and early childhood learning. Mr. Speaker, they will do well in ensuring that the county governments they have today are planning well their counties. Mr. Speaker, the county governments require guidance. And whose role on who is the grandfather to ensure that this guidance is given is the Senate. I will request the Senate to reread the Constitution and get to know what are their functions. Can they, for a single moment, work on their functions so that the county governments are able to work well? Mr. Speaker, as I yield the floor, and request again the 2 speakers of our houses that please don't get distracted on the journey you've started of ensuring that you're not going to court again. Don't get distracted.
Half a minute.
On cordiality. And finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to request also the management of Parliament that please, let's not spend any more cent, any more time in supporting any court cases between and among these houses of Parliament. I yield. Thank you.
MP for Kajiado Central.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And Honorable Speaker, before I delve on the matter of the Supreme Court, Honorable Speaker, allow me to pass my condolences to the passing of...
Are you on a point of order, the Honorable Atandi? Ordinarily, I'm used to you sitting on this side of the aisle, but now I can see you. Proceed, Honorable Atandi. And
Honorable Speaker,
what's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I stand on a rise on standing order number 95.
Yes.
To say that I've read the mood of the House and seen that members are in agreement that we reject all the amendments from the Senate. Yes. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I would like to suggest that we call the mover to reply. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker,
Order, honorable members, order. The honorable member of parliament. Is it Mugirango West? Yes, Mugirango West. Okay, fair enough. The honorable Atandi, the chair has a responsibility to protect the minority in the House. I know the standing order. I also know another standing order that says allow people to say what they want. Honorable, proceed, Honorable Memusi. I'll give one or two more people and the members of parliament and then.
thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. As I was saying, allow me first of all to give my condolences to the family of the late Honorable Teya, who was the immediate outgoing women rep for Kajiado County. Honorable Speaker.
Listen to Honorable Memusi. He is giving condolences on an old colleague who has since passed on. You should be quiet and listen.
Thank you,
Proceed.
Honorable Speaker. And colleagues should really have some respect for their own. Honorable Speaker, allow me to give condolences to the family of the late Honorable Teya, who was the immediate outgoing women rep for Kajiado County. Honorable Speaker, I know a lot has been said about Honorable Teya. We served with her in the 11th Parliament and the 12th Parliament, and she was an exceptional lady who scaled up despite all odds, despite being able differently. She became a leader and an outstanding one. Today, Kajiado County mourns a lady who was exceptional because she was not deterred by her disability. Honorable Speaker, Teya, despite Kajiado County being extremely vast, she tried to traverse the entire county. She went to rural places. I remember one meeting that really touched the hearts of women in my constituency, that she showed up despite the fact that it had rained heavily, and even some people who did not have any challenges, physical challenges, would not dare use the bad roads to reach the venue. But she made an effort and she got there. She was an exceptional lady, and I pass my condolences to her and her family, especially her children. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, allow me to also contribute my voice to the ruling of the Supreme Court. And Honorable Speaker, let me start by saying that the judiciary, through the Supreme Court, have done a great thing for this country.
Honorable Memusi, the matter before the House is not this ruling of the Supreme Court.
The
matter before the House is a Senate bill.
It's
so you
Senate
either
bill.
oppose that
Yes.
bill or you support it.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
But you can use the Supreme Court
It's a
what you call
Supreme
ruling
Court
in
ruling.
collaboration.
Yes, in collaboration. Thank you, Speaker, for the guidance. Honorable Speaker, the work of the judiciary is interpretation of the laws. And through the Supreme Court, the judiciary has interpreted an area that we willingly allowed it to become a gray area, because in the Constitution, it was very clear the functions of the two houses. Very clear. Honorable Speaker, the drafters of our Constitution envisaged a great country when they came up with devolution. And when they came up with devolution, they looked for a way of a house that will oversight counties. The main reason for Kenyans' agitation for devolution was for services, was for resources to go down to them. It was for the people to be able to rule themselves. It was for the people to be able to make decisions directly that affect them. Honorable Speaker, the Senate was supposed to make devolution work. The Senate was supposed to make Kenyans feel the importance of devolution. But unfortunately, the Senate has failed in its role. Honorable Speaker, the mess in counties, every county in this republic you find very junior officers, so-called revenue officers, moving around collecting money from poor Kenyans, not for that money to go to the coffers, the taxpayers' kitty, but for that money to go into people's pockets. You would find revenue officers moving around markets, taking 50 shillings, 100 shillings from very poor women who are struggling. You would find very junior officers taking money from sand harvesters, and very odd businesses that Kenyans are trying to make ends meet. All this money is going to wastage, and senators are busy running around, crisscrossing on the functions of the national government. You find the Senate summoning the CS Defense. What business does Senate have with the defense of this country? What business? Honorable Speaker, that ruling, despite the Constitution having been very clear on the mandate of the two houses, but that ruling puts the Senate in its place. So with those few, Honorable Speaker, I submit. Thank you.
The Honorable Sunkuya, and then followed by the Honorable Member of Parliament from Garanga West.
Thank you, the Honorable Speaker. And before I contribute to the ruling, Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to convey my gratitude, condolences to the family of
Honorable Oundo.
Honorable Janet.
Here, the Honorable MP for Kajiado West in silence.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to convey my my condolences to the family of the late Honorable Janet Eya, who was the women rep for Kajiado County 2017 to 2022, and nominated member of Parliament 2013 to 2017. And despite her how she was, but she was able to stand to lead the people of Kajiado, to beat a number of leaders who compete with 2017. She's a person who actually came from the interior, and he has done a lot to the people of Kajiado. He has passionate. She's a leader who actually demonstrated to his people. Mr. Speaker, so I want to say apology to the people of Kajiado and the family. Before entering and contributing to the bill, what the Senate is doing, the honorable members who are loitering around Parliament, who are not understanding their function, who are not understanding their role, their oversight, coming around Parliament, and instead of taking oversight to their counties, going to their counties and taking a lot of money, collaborating with the governors, without even offering even a project. Mr. Speaker, actually, even the Constitution, if it happened for us again to go for the to call for, actually, we need to change this Constitution later and do away with the Senate. So I submit. And we are tired of these men, really tired. And the country is also tired of. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Mogaka, followed by the Honorable Luke. Waluke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to also oppose this bill. And before I do so, may I join my fellow residents of Kajiado in mourning Honorable Janet. I live in Kajiado, where she once represented us, and I pray that the Almighty God does rest her soul in eternal peace. And coming back to this Senate bill, as a member of JLAC, Mr. Speaker, I had an experience engaging with the JLAC committee of the Senate, where as parliamentarians, we sought to have joint sittings and engage, and we are reaching legal minds in both JLAC, so that we come up with a piece of legislation that was to be progressive as the 2010 Constitution. Shock on me, the Senate JLAC stayed away, and we soldiered on and presented a masterpiece of a legislation, which upon presentation to them, they prescribed what we have today, which, to say the least, is ignominious. I propose that my colleagues join JLAC in rejecting those amendments in total, because they don't deserve to see the light of day. And in doing so, it is clear that Senate is trying to carve its way to waters that the Constitution of Kenya 2010 does not permit them to navigate into. And money matters are matters of the National Assembly and must be so protected. And I also want to hail the determination by the Supreme Court of Kenya, the Apex Court, for pronouncing itself and stating the obvious. Because the Constitution of Kenya has outlined functions for the two legislative houses. And the bill that was to deal with the behavior and engagement of Parliament was merely going a step further, as lawyers say, so that we have no avoidance of doubt that there is no conflict in the functions of the National Assembly and that of Senate. And I want to share with you, Mr. Speaker, I have never had an occasion again to share with any committee of Senate. I just tried to attend a Senate committee sitting this afternoon that had invited my county, Nyamira County. And believe you me, Senate is presiding over the strangulation of Nyamira County. And that is their core business. When you hear that there is a county in this Kenya with 2 county assemblies, when you hear that there is a county in this country with 2 speakers, when you hear that there is a county in this country, clear illegalities, and Senate is sitting there struggling to be given legislative authority over money matters, it is a shame. And this Senate, I want to agree with my brother from Kajiado West, that this Senate is not the kind of Senate that our Constitution contemplated. We contemplated a Senate that would be hands-on to have our health facilities function. We contemplated a Senate that would ensure that early childhood education is provided with infrastructure, is provided with teachers, permanently paid and pensionable. We foresaw a Senate that would functionalize our agriculture sector so that we are food secure and become an exporting country. We contemplated a Senate that would stick to its lane, that would remunerate people who work for them. But we have a Senate where it is pilferage from January to January. It is pilferage every other day. Mr. Speaker, I am so disturbed that the Senate had the audacity to recommend that this motion be brought before us, that this bill be brought before us. Let us put it where it belongs. Let us assert our legislative authority. Let us keep the Senate to their turf. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I yield after vehemently opposing and calling out the management and dysfunctioning in Nyamira County to quickly come to an end, because I host the county. They are in my constituency. The theft is going on in my constituency. Let there be rule of law. I cannot stay in a constituency that has no lights when the county is collecting revenue but not paying bills to Kenya Power and Lighting. This shame must be brought to an end. And Governor Nyamira and other governors, please wake up. Senator Nyamira County and other senators, please functionalize our counties. We meant well for devolution. You have brought a shame to this republic. Keep off legislation on money matters. I yield. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Waluke.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me a chance also to contribute on this.
What's your point of order, Honorable Atandi?
Honorable Speaker, I come back to you again, understanding order number 95, to plead that this matter has been extensively discussed, and we are in agreement that this amendment should be rejected. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I would like to request that the mover be asked to reply.
Fair enough. Under the circumstances, since there's a lot of persistence, and the chair is supposed to look at both sides, and now put the question that the mover be called upon to reply. How many of, as many of the opinion say aye? Aye. As many of contrary opinion say nay? I'll put the question again. Order, honorable members, and I'll put the question that the mover be called upon to reply. As many of the opinion say aye? Aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. Honorable, the mover, please proceed and reply.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, sometimes our proceedings at times can be very interesting, like it is today. I wish to sincerely thank all the members, as the Honorable Atandi has just said, the chairman of our budget committee, that we have flogged the horse too much, and that we are all in agreement that indeed the amendments proposed by the Senate ought to be rejected. And so, Mr. Speaker, as you know, there are very many people in this country who love to swim in the sea of uncertainty, chaos, and confusion. Mr. Speaker, the Supreme Court has put brakes to this. As you know, the Constitution provides that there must be clarity in everything. And the Supreme Court, as members have contributed, has indeed clarified what is the position with regard to a number of those issues and has put them to rest. And with those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the members for supporting the rejection of this motion. And Mr. Speaker, I want to bring to the attention of members that when you call for the putting of the question, we are not going to say yes in this one. We are going to say no, so that we can reject the amendments from the Senate. And so with those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to reply.
Honorable members, I now put the question. Yes, honorable members. Yes, honorable members, I now put the question that the Senate amendments to the Houses of Parliament Bicameral Relations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 44 of 2023 be now considered. As many of the opinion say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. Nay. The nays have it. Next order. Honorable members, I have a small communication to make in view of the fact that this order number 12 has been rejected. ipso facto, order number 13, Roman 2, is also not there. Is voided completely. Now, next order.
Order number 13, Committee of the Whole House.
Okay.
As we may resume our seats. And this is the Committee of the Whole House on the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025. Remember, this is a short bill of a couple of clauses. I would just beg for your attention. As you would know from the order paper, there's no amendment to this bill. And recognize the fact that this is the Honorable Chairperson's first Division of Revenue Bill. We'll give him all the support and indulgence required to make this run smoothly. I recognize the Vice Chair, the Honorable Kosi Ofendebes, is also in the House.
Clause 3, 4, and 5.
Honourable members, I propose the question that clauses 3, 4, and 5 be part of the bill. And therefore now put the question that clauses 3, 4, and 5 be part of the bill. Will as many of the opinion say aye? Will as many of the opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Schedule.
Members, I propose that the schedule to the bill be the schedule of the bill. I put the question that the schedule be the schedule of the bill. Will as many of the opinion say aye? Well, as many of the opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
Members, I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. There being no amendment, I put the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Will as many of the opinion say aye? Will as many of the opinion say nay? Ayes have it.
Title.
Members, I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. I put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many of the opinion say aye? And as many of the opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
Honourable members, I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. There being no amendment, I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many of the opinion say aye? And as many of the opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Members, I now call upon the move of this bill, the chairperson of the Budget Committee, to move for reporting.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, and its approval thereof without amendments.
Honorable members, I put the question, therefore, that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, and its approval thereof without amendments. As many of the opinion say aye, as many of the opinion say nay, the ayes have it. I now call upon the chairperson to report to the House.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, and approved the same without amendments.
Thank you. Mover, Honorable Tandi.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Honorable Dr. Pukose to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the House.
Honorable Pukose.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Members, I therefore propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. And members, for obvious reasons, we will defer the putting of the question to the next time the House sits. Next order.
Order number 14, the Excise Duty Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025. Second reading.
Members, we defer this to the next time the bill is the order paper. So, members, we move to the next order. Is Honorable Wunda, what's out of order?
Speaker. Point of order. Speaker, this is a National Assembly that makes laws for the people of Kenya and for the prosperity of this country. Looking around the chamber, Honorable Speaker, I hardly see any members more than 5. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to draw to attention, there is no quorum in the House to transact business. Speaker, I want to draw your attention that there is no quorum in the House to transact business. Consider this National Assembly that transacts and makes laws for the interest of and the benefit of the people of Kenya. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Other members have listened to the Honorable Member for Funyula, and therefore order that the bell be rung, the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes.
Well, the National Assembly proceedings are on. However, the House or the proceedings have fallen short of the quorum during the proceedings of the House. This is a point of order that was raised by the Honorable Member for Funyula, Honorable Dr. Ojiambo Oundo, indicating to the Speaker or informing the Speaker that much as the House is in the business of processing laws and passing laws, the House, as it stands, does not have a good number of members to be able to continue, or does not have a substantive number of members for that particular business of processing of laws or legislation making to be able to continue, and requested, or at that point of order made the Speaker to direct that a quorum bell be rung for members to make their way back to the chambers. Remember, earlier on the House had quorated enough, and there are a number of businesses that were transacted. However, as it stands now, members have walked out of the chambers, making the House to lack a good number of them present to be able to continue with the business, thereby forcing the Speaker to indicate that the quorum bell then be rung for at least 10 minutes so that members who may have walked out and still within the precincts of Parliament to be able to make their way back into the chambers and allow the House attain that particular quorum for the business to proceed. Before that point of order by the Honorable Member Oundo, the members were expected to begin considering the excise duty amendment bill, a bill originating from the National Assembly, Bill number 7 of 2025. This is a bill that is at its second reading stage. And the principal object of the bill is to amend the Excise Duty Act to remove excise duty on imported fully assembled electric transformers. This excise duty was imposed in the Tax Laws Amendment Bill 2024 with the intention to support local assemblers. However, the amendment has had a negative effect on the manufacture and supply of transformers by increasing the cost of importing parts. It is intended, therefore, that this amendment will reduce the cost of electricity and enhance power connectivity through additional manufacture and supply of transformers to the Kenya Power and Lighting Company. This is a bill that seeks to amend the Excise Duty Act to remove excise duty on imported fully assembled electric transformers. And this excise duty was imposed in the Tax Laws Amendment Bill 2024 with the intention to support local assemblers. However, the amendment has had negative effect on the manufacture and supply of transformers by increasing the cost of importing parts. And it is intended that this particular amendment will therefore reduce the cost of electricity and enhance power connectivity through additional manufacture and supply of transformers to the Kenya Power and Lighting Company. This is a bill that is at its second reading stage. Members were about to begin debate. However, that process was interrupted after Honorable Oundo rose on a point of order to inform the House that the quorum of the House has been interrupted.